Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we're going through the trade targets for round 3 of the AFLW fantasy season, in which I'm kind of just looking through, honestly, and trying to find some of the players that are a little bit selected, but I cannot sort of... let's just do it this way. I'll try and find a better way to do this. Given that we don't have the trade numbers, it's kind of hard to look at it, so I'm just going to go through the most selected and sort of look at form-related stuff and see if that's probably the best way to do it until we get this function with the trade-ins, trade-outs for the women's side of it that we had in the men's. It's kind of hard to really do this in a well-oiled manner, other than just sort of going through who I have heard about, etc., traded in, traded out, etc. So anyway, let's just jump into this video and go and see what we see. So if you don't have Marinoff, good luck. Good luck, because you're probably out of the top 2,000, 3,000 already. Katie Hort, another one that if you don't have her, she isn't probably breaking you back because she's priced at 1.156, and I don't think she'll be a 110 type of scorer, but I think she'll be the lone consistent scorer in the forward line. I mean, you have Anya Tai, who's probably going to average near enough within about 10, 15 of Kate Hort, but I think Kate Hort can easily jump. She had a 10 disposal effort for an 83. She could easily have a 20 disposal effort here, and that jumps up. So I think Katie Hort could average 95, 100, whereas I think Anya Tai is in more of that 80, 85 range, and that's going to be the difference. And that's why you probably need her. Robottom as well, one that's really jumped off here recently, 130k cash gen in the last week from that 163. I know that she'll probably be well unders if we look at the, where is it here? This one, is it? Yeah, if we look at here, Robottom, she's priced, going to have a break even of 98. If she goes 125 again, then she is just going to jump. And yeah, she's got a really good role. Goody as well. I think this is probably one of the last weeks for Goody. She's playing a wing role, and I'm probably just going to have her on my bench at this point. Probably play Window over the top, or play Breed over the top if we get a really good role for Breed with team sheets. Yeah, Goody wing role. It's she had a really shocker against the Western Bulldogs. Against Fremantle, she should do better, I would expect. But yeah, this is probably the last week of her, as she does have a 30 odd break even, I think, or is it like 25? It's up there. It's a 29 break even. So yeah, even if she has a really good game, she'll probably still be one that goes for me as that wing role. I can convert her into on-field points, like consistent on-field points through Ali Anderson. So I'll be jumping there. Thomas here, 947k. Yeah, she's done really well, and if you don't have her, then that's probably worrisome. But then again, she's not one that's really going to get away from you, if you get what I mean. She's going to be one that's just sitting here at around 930 to 960k. So is she actually really that damaging? Probably not. But I would say she's probably, especially in a back line that is so hectic at the moment, like Hoskin just went unders of what she did in round 1 and what she's overall. I think she's one that's just, Thomas is one that can consistently put up numbers, which will be near enough what she's priced at, and you know what you're getting out of her, etc. Whereas I think there's a lot of other girls that you're trying to find, or does this girl have a midfield role or whatnot, and it might not be true, and then they drop a stinker. And that's where Thomas is so valuable, is you know what you're going to get from her. Power Girl, Dowd, etc. Ruby Slisher, another one that I'm considering trading out in the next week or two after her double, I should say. She just hasn't been performing exactly well, but she plays Brisbane. I expect them to get flogged by Brisbane. So, yeah, I think that she could score really well. BT, Finn, just two of the rookies here. BT, I would be trading out at this point. She's just not doing anything. Finn, she's going magnificent. Garner is one that I'm trying to find a way to grab in round 5. I think it's going to come off of Blackburn. And then we find another way to upgrade outside of her, maybe to a Carney or something like that. We'll see about that. That might come off Slisher, just thinking about it now. That actually seems like a really good plan. Slisher, as well as Blackburn, and then also maybe a 600k rookie, potentially, if I have one in store. And that'll get me up to someone, maybe even a Serene Watson at that point can go up. And that'll get me to a really, really good... it'll get me almost completely done for my side in general. It will... Yeah, because that'll get me... my midfield would be, by then, that point, Marinoff, Robottom, Conti, Ali Anderson, and Garner. And that would get me a back line of Thomas, Darcy, Thomas, Darcy, maybe a Carney, or someone like of that ilk. As well as Goldrick, and then it would be Finn still in there, but Finn would almost be able to be upgraded at that point as well. So we'll just have to see how it goes, but I'm pretty sure I'm tracking pretty well for getting Garner in round 5. But I wouldn't be grabbing her up just yet. Melbourne is a tough-ish matchup, and if she goes 100 against them, I don't know what her exact break even is. It's 1-1. If she goes 100 against them, she drops 58k. That will be really, really valuable. If she can drop into the 1.4s, it would be very, very valuable come her double in round 5. So there's that. And then we go down a little bit more. Conti is probably one that I'm also considering dumping in after her double as well. She scored so far average 97, which isn't the worst, but yeah, just want her to pick it up a little bit. Hoskin, I would be prepared to jump her in a little bit. I just want to check breed here quickly, even though I should have done this in the rookies breed, 28 break even. So yeah, she could be 700k by next week. Hopefully I'll be able to hold her, and then she'll be able to be dumped after she gets to maybe even 800k, and that will make the maneuver quite easy. But yeah, Bree's doing outstanding. Hoskin, probably one that I'd be watching. I probably would hold her until after her double just because of that early double. But if she didn't have the early double, I'd be dumping her. But yeah, she has the early double, so I'd be holding her until then. I think she gets back to normal, maybe a 50 or 60. Ty as well, yeah, 26% owned. I wouldn't be jumping on her, but I wouldn't be jumping off her. Simple as that. Carney, yeah, she's done outstanding. Would I be jumping on her? I think she'll normalize a little bit, Carney here. I think she will probably tip over the 1 million marker just because of that low-ish break even. Yeah, if she goes 75, she pretty much hit. If she goes 76 or 77, she gets to the 1 million. So yeah, I wouldn't be necessary. Yeah, if you go average 54k for hitting her average, 54k will get her over the 1 million price. So it's about 77. I think that is the break even point where she goes over 1 million. So hopefully she doesn't, as I would like her. But I mean, there's definitely other defenders. Like if you go and just look at Webster here, she had a bad game, but she'll rebound in a couple of weeks. She could be one that you jump to, etc. But we'll just have to wait and see on this. So I'm just looking at this round 5 buy. Double. You got Port Richmond. Sheeran could be another one that you look at. She's tracking well to get return this week, but she'll be one that maybe consider in that round 5. Goldrick going well. Brennan, she's just not being able to convert it, and I don't like it anymore. She was really good in the first quarter, but then really just fell asleep in the last 3. Hood, I don't like her role either. Riddell here scored a 101, and that's pretty good, but it's not exactly perfect. So she's also one in case I can't get to exactly Gardner, that I can just get to Riddell, and that'll be good as well, but it won't be exactly perfect. Watson, 468k, she's improving, but I mean, she's still stuck at around that 30 break even, I would think. Yeah, 29 break even. Just hoping for her to have a massive game just to get that that cash gen up, as I would like to be able to trade her out at this point in the next week or two. Friswell, Edmonds as well. Against the Eagles, she probably will score really well, but I'm just trading her out at this point. Friswell, McGee. Beraldson is doing all right, but you probably want her a little bit more improvement out of her in the next little bit. Just get another 50 or so game to get that cash gen continuing up. Vukic, no, honestly. Then again, she's a 304k ruck, so if it gives you more cash to be able to do stuff, then maybe you go there, but I think there are other rucks that we'll see at team naming that will be better. Daisy Darcy, 881k. I really like this. I think that she was hampered in the first game by her TOG. If you upgrade her TOG even to 70, 75, then that's around about the 80 marker anyway. So I think she'll be one that really does put out points per minute, and she's the one that they basically go through in the back half. So very similar to Carney. I think she just puts up high. She puts up almost 50 points a game, I would say, from just kicking alone, and near enough that marker, 42 to 48, somewhere around there. And then she'll do around 10 to 15 points at handballs, gets her around that 60 marker, and then she probably won't be the biggest marks and tackles one, but yeah, she should do all right. Especially this week, I think she might have a little bit of kick mark. Given GWS, they'll probably struggle a little bit. Ellie Anderson, 1.52. I'm just hoping she doesn't put up a monster score. If she puts up a 110 or 100, then I'm happy with that, as she goes up a little bit, but not terribly much. If we look at here, yeah, 100, she goes up 47k. So yeah, if she goes up, she hits 139 again, then I probably can't get her. But if she hits like 100, then I probably should be able to, given that, I'll have the cash probably to generate I'm hoping that I'll be able to get cash generators plus be able to get rid of Watson plus get out Anderson next week. But there are some certain scenarios that I won't be able to. But yeah, Anderson is definitely one in the next week or two. This week, if you can get her, grab her. But don't wreck your structure. For me, I'm able to grab her this week. But it wrecks the cash gen of the midfielders. Plus, also, it still means that I have McGee on field. So I just didn't like that. I wanted to solidify that forward line a little bit more before I necessarily jump to the 5 minutes. I know the 5 minutes are very, very valuable. But I'm just hoping that Anderson doesn't go 120 this week, 130 this week. I'm hoping she goes like 110. McCarthy, she was pretty big in the first round, but then went down to earth a little bit. I'd still be holding because I think you have other issues that you can jump to. I think she's still a 90-95 scorer. I think that next week maybe you can jump her to a Ali Anderson or something like that by then. Or you can jump her to I wouldn't be necessarily just one and done with her. With Blackburn, so I'd be probably jumping her to a Anderson in the next week or two. Lutkins jump off, Moffat jump off, Gardner wait and see how she develops. 92 at the moment, but yeah, she's got 90-95. I want to see if she can generate a little bit more push because yeah, 90 is not going to be good on the double. Kemp hold her too good, she's still out. Pierce probably not going to play. Weston Turner, she's dropped down to rookie pricing. She's just in a horrific side. Sachi Syme, 639k, so she's really jumped up in the last little bit. 89k, but I'm pretty sure if you look at Syme here, she's got a 36 break even, so she'll probably go up another 100, 200k, etc., which will be really good for those that hold her. But yeah, I just wouldn't be jumping on her. Which is that. Huntington and Webster, I'd wait another week to see if she can rebound. She's one that I think you can wait a week because her break even isn't really going to allow her to move that much. It's like a 74, I'm pretty sure, so it won't move that much. Huntington as well, I'm jumping on her this week, I'm pretty sure, just because I really like that role. I think it's 50, 60 bound if she, the role that she has. So I think she can just do that, getting a little bit more cash, and it'll just sort of be a wait and see, honestly, to just see these other forwards generate, or these other forwards get their roll down pad, etc. As we're sort of just in a, it's a really weird spot at the moment with only 2 or 3 girls that have decent enough rolls. Manny Newman, I think she's one that will return back to a little bit of a normal 53-101. I just think she's going to be one that we see return a little bit back to sort of that 70 marker, 60 marker. O'Loughlin's one that's coming back, and I want to watch her roll this weekend, as I could grab her this week, but I'm not exactly sure of her role, and I don't want to just jump on her after a week's break because of her suspension, and I just want to see if she can actually put up decent numbers. Hatchard as well, I'd probably be wanting to more so go Anderson just because of the double is sooner. McAvoy here, really like this option. She's gone straight 81s, and I think she can consistently put up 81s just with the Swans. I think they've lost that mid-forward connection, so I think it's going to be more in their back half now with Malloy out, and I think that only helps McAvoy, so I'm really intrigued to see how she goes against Richmond. Blackburn, she's done pretty well, and then Prasparkas from Frederick's one that you could also potentially jump to. I did think about potentially, if I did have the cash, to be able to go get Frederick in alongside Bonucci, both around that 1.2 million, which would be pretty tough given that you'd have to have about 2.7 million in leftovers, and O'Dowd's at a roughly 600k. Say she goes up another 150, so 750 plus. I say I have 330 in the bank. I'd need roughly about the other 2 people to be 800k, and I just don't think that is possible. So Frederick here, if you look at a break even 82, Benici 74, they've probably just gone up a little bit too much for my liking. Georgia Stathis, I'd be jumping off her. Houghton, same, jumping off her, to be honest. Vesio, if you haven't jumped off her. Grandel is one that I'm really liking the look of her role. I've been touting it all week. I think she's one that really does have a really good role against against Hawks, should be pretty good there. Watt plays North. I think I'm just waiting on team list for this. This will probably be one that changes given team list, and I just need to check when, so I'll be able to change that tonight when the team lists come out before the game starts, which will be good. And then pretty much everyone else here is pretty lowly owned, etc. I'll need to actually look back and how I did the the trade targets round 1, and how they did. Maybe I quickly just go through weekly points in case I haven't gone through anyone. Parker, I would be waiting on just because, she averages 109, which is still really good, but I think she has that later game week, so I'd just be jumping on Ali Anderson first. Lucas Rod, I don't think so. I think she's got that backman's role, which is sort of an 80 role, and in the midfield, that is just not a good enough role. Talked about those girls. Then we go down to Maddie Gay. I'd be waiting on this one just another week, just to see if she returns back to the sort of 50 range, or if she middles out at around 70 odd. Pritchard, jumping off of her. She did score 96. Sorry, no, that's the wrong one. Where's Pritchard here? She did score 96 after a 72 week one. I'd probably be jumping off of her to go straight to Ali Anderson at this point. If you do have her, Mia King, I think her scoring's all right, but it's not fantastic. I think she'll be one that just isn't relevant behind Garner and Riddell. Gardner, we talked about. Single, no, don't think she'll replicate that. Hurley, I don't think she'll replicate that, and mid only. So maybe Hurley does take over that role over Gardner, but I don't think she will. I think Gardner will get her tackles. Well, honestly, she's going all right. Just probably needs to get the disposals into the 30s again, which hopefully she can do against Richmond. With third, Frizzell's one that I'm really confused about why she's doing well. I need to watch the Geelong games just to see why she's doing so well. She's getting heavy marks and tackles, which is a good thing, but she's got just a really easy role, so I just don't know about that. And then that's pretty much it for the trade targets for round 3 of the AFLW Fantasy season. If you did enjoy the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.